Hi there. So, the news cycles through quickly. All these disposable masks and disposable gloves, and all these riots, burning cars and destroying property and destroying things. Lots of stuff for the earth to handle. A lot for the earth to handle. Destruction. We have to use chemicals to clean off graffiti. Antifa, Black Lives Matter. So many people following those groups don't know who George Soros is, even. Thinking they're fighting something that they're feeding. Where your vision goes, whatever you're looking at, your eyeballs make money for someone. So, I changed my major. I did not want to go to college at all, and even now that I'm long out of it, I don't like. Even now, I'm resistant to college. Even now, and I already graduated, but I changed my major like 14 times, and I finally went in and I said, what's going to get me out of here fastest? Just what's going to get me out of here? I promise I'm never going to change again. It was marketing. Marketing. I was like, so in the classes, I was like, it's all manipulation. It's all like basically lying to people, telling them that they're fat so that they can sell you this. It's basically accessing in through the ego to make people not feel like they're enough in order to sell crap to them, in order to sell crap. So I see now, like, my life put itself together beautifully. But however old I was, 21 or whatever, I was disgusted and disturbed by how manipulative marketing is, and I was always, what do they call me? A granola. So they always called me a granola. I had really long hair and hiking boots, and I did a lot of hiking. I've hiked up so many mountains. I'm so glad I did all that. And when I was a kid, I saw a cartoon that I've mentioned in a past video about Adam Ant. Adam Ant, all these people were buying all this new stuff, and they were so excited to buy all this stuff. But Adam Ant found where they were throwing all their old stuff away, just making so much waste, so much waste. Gross. And he's this little ant, and he's trying to get everybody to stop. And I was a little kid then, and I remember my heart breaking. Even though it was a cartoon, I knew it was a cartoon, but I also had an awareness that at that time, it was the 70s, so we hadn't moved into the level of consumerism that the world sees now. And, the corporatism, and Antifa thinks it's fighting corporatism. They think they use the definition of fascism is the definition that most of us use for corporatism. But Antifa thinks that's fascism. It's like they haven't looked up what fascism means. It means shutting down free speech, which is what they're doing, which is what they do. So they're just a bunch of kids that are really out of line, and they think that they're in the right. They think that they're fighting corporatism that they call fascism. It's so ridiculous. That's why I renounced the entire mainstream on June 3rd, 2020. I'm still going to make my videos, whatever I feel like I should do. But we are living in clown world right now. And that's what it is. This group calling themselves Antifa, who are the real fascists, fighting corporatism, thinking it's fascism. So if people are using the same words with completely definitions, there's really no point in talking to anybody, having any kind of conversation. And then some people still believe that when they turn on the news is at least trying to tell them the truth. And they think that they don't know who George Soros is, but they're still in Black Lives Matter or following it, or virtue signaling and social justice warrioring, feeding the problem they think they're fighting. The law of attraction works as much as gravity works. But there are people that even know about the law of attraction that are still beating the drum of all the things that they don't want to create. They think they're fighting it. And it's like, but the law of attraction, I know all about the law of attraction. Okay, so then, I already know about it. I already know. Okay, so you think you're exempt from it then. You can't beat the drum of something and fight it. The only way out of any problem is to focus on the solution to the problem. You focus on how you want to feel. But while I don't like smoking, I have no choice but to respect the free will choice of those who smoke. Their cigarettes are available, they can smoke them. At least they're grounding themselves. I hurt myself if I don't accept their free will choice to do whatever they're doing, because they're doing it. All right. So people are still wearing masks now while they're driving, while they're walking outside. So I guess the virus doesn't hurt anyone while they're protesting and screaming, and because that would sort of lend to spit particles, moving out into the world. But I guess it's smarter than I can understand. So now where we are is it's hilarious actually, because what the earth loves the most is grounded, peaceful humans. Digging in our soil, growing food, looking upon the trees, falling in love with the natural, beautiful world. That is one reality. We could do that. We could all do that. We could all calm down, come to center, harmonize, take care of ourselves, take care of each other, live in high vibrational reality. We could do this. Then the world would breathe a sigh of relief. But we have these people fighting. We have people fighting. They think they're fighting for the earth, but their energy is toxic to all of us and the planet. The left, virtue signaling, social justice warriors are toxic. Their energy is toxic. They create energetic pollution. They lower the collective vibration. The collective vibration is like a reservoir we all drink from. Through their fighting and this nonsense of white people ashamed to be white. Shame is a 20 level vibration. It serves no one except other people's egos. So you are this thing, whatever your name is, right? You're this thing. You have a soul, and part of that soul drives around this meat suit that you get, This meat suit that only lives one time. And it has whatever color skin, whatever color hair, whatever color eyes, whatever genitals, whatever issues, you know, it's got a team of, you know, maybe you have a guardian angel, and maybe you have some worker angels, and maybe you have some dead relatives that are working to help you, and maybe you have guides, which would be people that lived before, and they're helping you move through a lesson, whether it's self-righteousness as a block to love, or get out of your own way, or speak your truth, whatever. You get these guides. So this is all part of your team. All right, you have a body, meat suit, you have a mind, so you're not your body and you're not your mind, they're just yours to use. That's it. It's not me, it's mine to use. All right, so I am the peaceful, powerful spirit existence, and then I'm enjoying this meat suit for this incarnation as Carla. All right? Who is on the side of my growth? Who's cheering for me to live a high vibrational existence? What things are cheering for my highest potential vibration? Well, my meat suit wants me to. My meat suit, my body, wants to live a high vibrational existence. It'll be free from any disease. It'll be fed well and taken care of, nurtured, rested, exercised, and, you know, exercised hormonally, exercised physically. Okay? So my meat suit's on my side. My soul is on the side of my growth. My own ego is on the side of my growth. My mind, my mother who passed, my grandmother, all my deceased relatives, they're on my side of my growth. My angels, they're on the side of my growth. My guides, obviously. Jesus, for me, you know, I don't know what you follow. Prime Creator. All enlightened masters, all enlightened beings, all ascended masters would love nothing more than for me, Carla, to raise my vibration to 1,000 and live my highest potential vibrational existence. Me at 1,000 is going to reduce pollution. It's going to reduce violent crime. It's going to, including destruction of property and also sickness. Right? So if my high vibration of 1,000 reduces sickness in others, it's going to also reduce waste, right? Because anyone in a hospital, they have to use masks now, and they have to use rubber gloves. They have to use these gloves. Gloves, 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 gloves. Landfill, 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 landfill. Adam Ant is crying. Okay, so Adam Ant is crying. So the more sick people, the more gloves the doctors are going to go through, the more masks, the more everything. So my mother had a bone marrow transplant, and there was a time they thought that she had something. I'm not going to get involved in the whole story. Every time we went in the room, we weren't allowed to go to the bath. We were not allowed to use her bathroom. So we had to gown up. We had to put a gown on, a mask on, thing on our head, and gloves to go in the room with my mom. And if we had to go pee, we had to take everything off, throw it all away, go pee, wash our hands, come back in, new gloves, new mask, new hairnet, new gown. The waste just from those days in the hospital, you know, towards the end, just the waste was like, oh, but, okay, back to what I'm saying. Your 1,000 level vibration is going to cut down on all the garbage. It's going to cut down on pollution, violent crime. So my ego's on my side. The only thing, and anyone who's hearing me and any higher selves of any other humans, the higher selves and all the souls, they're on my side. The only thing that is not on my side of my 1,000-level vibrational reality is other people's egos. Well, that's so that I can learn and grow. Other people's egos clashing with mine. That's it. All right? The only thing that would want me to join Black Lives Matter, even though it's intended to pit people against each other. Look up George Soros. You know, and I have compassion for him because, you know, he posed as a Christian and he took, you know, things away from other Jewish people that he knew. And he says that was one of the best days of his life, was going door to door and taking other Jewish people's property away while he pretended to be Christian. And he says, if it wasn't me, it'd be somebody else. So might as well be me. And in his mind, it was one of the greatest days of his life, was going door to door and taking other Jewish people's property away that he knew while he pretended to be a Christian. Now, I don't even want to pretend to try to put myself through what he went through. Maybe, is he evil? Maybe, you know. Was he just, is evil created? I don't know. You know, that's not for me to decide. Why am I making this video? Because things are very ridiculous, and that's okay. It's ridiculous that people are so easily focused on this, and then that goes out the window, and now we're focused on this. So in Connecticut, we were charged 10 cents a bag. We had to bring our own bags or be charged 10 cents a bag. A month later, or I don't know, that never bothered me because I always brought my own bags anyways. I always brought my own bags because I did the research on a bag, like how to make plastic bags, how to make plastic water bottles. I did that research long ago, but I could have learned at least 10 years prior. I was an airline pilot for United, and I had a trip to Virginia, Washington, D.C. And there was a woman on the corner. Oh, so the flight attendants used to bring us up these Crystal Geyser, like the bigger Crystal Geyser water bottles. And I think it was 2 when we flew to California, and then it was 1 if we were just staying close. But so the flight attendants would want to get us taken care of quick so then they could move on with their days, move on with their responsibilities to the passengers. So they would give us water first, drop them off. So we had them. Like, it was just a done deal. It was part of the thing. Why? It was protocol. We couldn't carry water bottles around. So, you know, you'd be on a trip for like a week. I'd be on a trip for like a week. And they don't want their pilots getting dehydrated. Like, that's just common sense. So this was the protocol. The flight attendants brought us water. I had my water bottle left. They're not going to take it back. They can't take it back. All that's gone. So now I have my water bottle, and I'm walking around Washington, D.C. This woman is trying to get people to sign this petition. And she was a raging bitch. Absolute raging bitch. And I was waiting for the light to change. She's like, screaming all this stuff. And this is actually funny. You know, okay, so I had a lot of leeway with what I could say because I'm in other states. I don't know any of these people. I'm never going to see these people again. So she's trying to get everyone to sign her petition, and she was just so abrasive. Like, I didn't even know what her petition was for, but I knew it was something to do with animals because she had this horrible picture up on a wooden stick, and it was like, I didn't have to look at it like for long. It's just like, oh, it just repulsed you right away, and I just didn't want to be near her, and her energy is disgusting. Blah. So She's like, sign my petition. Rah, 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 rah. I'm like, ah. And then I'm like, no thanks. And I drink out of my water bottle. She starts tearing into me about this water bottle, plastic water bottles. Did you know? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, no, I didn't know that. And I'm like, I started telling her, look, I'm an airline pilot for United, and she's just screaming over top of me. I'm like, okay, fuck it. She's not taking anything in. And then the light won't change. Or I missed it while she was screaming at me, something like that. Something kept me on the corner longer than I thought should be. So as she's screaming at me, she's screaming about the plastic water bottles and all that. I'm like, okay, got it. All right, thank you. All right, thanks. And then she screams at me to sign the petition, and I said, look. She goes, no one's signing my petition. I said, it's because you're acting like a bitch. Like, I just can't wait to get away from you. This is no mystery. Look how you're treating people. Like, you don't know me, and you just went off on me like 4 times, you know? So that woman tried to tell me about plastic water bottles at least 10 years before I figured it out or found out myself through my own research. And I was an environmentalist, you know, and I didn't try and buy plastic water bottles, but that was what the company policy was. Flight attendants, that's what they're supposed to do. It's all these rules, right? This is just the way it was. But because she would not calm down, I couldn't listen to her. People cannot or won't listen to each other. They're screaming at each other. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I just renounced the entire mainstream on June 3rd, 2020. And, you know, I renounced the mainstream media a really long time ago. I knew that they were lying and playing people and manipulating people to fight, good-hearted, loving people fighting each other. It's so easy, you know. It's the meme. Oh, sire, you don't have to fight them all. You just make the torch people think that the pitchfork people want to take their pitchforks away. It's what it is. We fight amongst ourselves. So here we were, January 2020. You know, paying 10 cents a bag, and then all of a sudden now you can't bring your bags to the grocery store. No, you can't bring your bags to the grocery store. Don't bring any bags. No, you have to wear a mask. So here's what's happening now. People have been operating in the United States now wearing masks, at least in my area, and now they're starting to get bitchy. Lady at the bank, I've had a bank account for 20 years at this place. They know me. I called to make sure they were open because, you know, things aren't open. And I said, wait, I have another question. She's like, what? I was like, well, I was going to ask about opening a savings account, but I can do that somewhere else. And she's like, no, she's like, Carla, I just can't hear you. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know that? You know, I'm talking. How am I supposed to know what you hear? And I realized it's because she's wearing a mask. This is one of the nicest people. She's you know, we have a very good relationship. It's because she's wearing a mask at work all the freaking time. Why is the light turn green and no one goes? Because they're wearing masks. They're wearing masks. Why are people acting stupid now? More stupid than normal? Because they're wearing masks. And who's going to get sick in the fall? The people wearing masks all the freaking time. Okay? It's just what we're living in now. You have to decide what you want to do. You know, do you want a 900 freedom vibration? Or do you want to keep, you know, 10 cents a bag or bring your own bags? No. Simpsons Mob. No, we changed. Now we go fight this. The Simpsons Mob is the perfect analogy to what clown world is. And not everybody's participating in clown world, of course. You know, and I'll tell you, these people protesting that say defund the police are what makes law-abiding citizens follow the laws. So It feels like either they're pushing for civil war or we're moving towards civil war. Okay, they let rapists and murderers out of prisons. I think it's only Democrats that did it, but they let rapists and murderers out of prison, and they put hairdressers and business owners in prison. This is clown world, man. This is clown world. They want us fighting, and it's working, and they're the ones going, yeah, we'll let these rapists and these murderers out, and then we'll take in that hairdresser from Texas. Let's put her in. And these other in this tattoo studio, let's put this guy in prison for opening his business. And this gym owner, yeah, let's put these people in prison. Okay, this is what's happening now. And there are Second Amendment people who are like, fine, get rid of the police, but then we take care of ourselves, and we don't have to make a call to 911. We're just going to shoot you when you come. That's what would happen. That is what would happen. These people who are, this Antifa, these kids, they really don't understand. They've been spooled up, by leftist teachers and leftist policies and the weathermen. So In Pursuit of Truth is a channel on YouTube. In Pursuit of Truth did the Weathermen 1 and the Weathermen 2. And, these little leftists, these kids, they're the useful idiots of Agenda 21, and they really don't know what they're pushing for. They're pushing for a dystopian nightmare, but they think that it's perfection. And they've been trained to see racism and systemic racism. I don't know any racists, honestly. And when my leftist aunt who follows the narrative says everyone's racist, that's just not true. I'm not, and neither is my entire family, and neither are my kids. They just, I'm white, pasty white in the winter, and I'm tan, very tan in the summer. And to my children, black people are no different. It's just your hue. We're all humans, H-U-E. Your hue changes depending on how much sun you get. And my husband gets even darker than me. So my kids, there is no racism. And what was it? 8 KKK members showed up in Dayton, Ohio. I think it was 8 KKK members showed up and 600 protesters. This is the world we live in now. And I'll tell you what, we go south a lot. We go to the south a lot. So I see a lot of, black people. I have a lot of interactions with a lot of black people. And I swear, black women, they know, the ones that I come across, it's like they can feel that I love Jesus as much as they do. And I swear to God, we feel it on each other, and we're cool, It's like a radar, I don't know, but loving people live in a loving world. They really do. And the people who don't turn on CNN are just in a much better place right now. My husband at the welding shop, he says, there's guys that come in whose wives watch CNN. They won't kiss their husbands because they don't want to get coronavirus. It's got an over 99% survival rate. Are we going to do this for colds? For every flu all the time? Imagine if we live like this forever. I mean, there's no freedom in that. And look into George Soros, look into contact tracing. They're training people right now to do that. You should, but the videos of people sharing what they're seeing are getting taken down. So if you're trying to figure out what's really going on by watching mainstream media news, you're in clown world, and that's your choice, but you're choosing the lower vibrations. You're choosing shame, 20, guilt, 30. You're choosing fear, 100, and then anger, 150. It feels so good to go from 100 to 150. You can't even imagine the relief of people in fear when they become angry. The level of relief that they experience, they feel so much better. Other people's egos are the only thing that gets fed when a white, when someone when the story happens the way they want. It's only the ego. And you know, if the information that a lot of people know about the agenda, if that stuff starts coming out and all the trafficking stuff starts coming out, and if more people understood why the United States of America has been in a declared state of emergency since December 21st, 2017, and if more people knew why Anthony Fauci said that this administration will see a surprise outbreak on January 10th, 2017, if more people knew that stuff, and if more people find out where the tax dollars are going, you just have to love the people as they wake up. And be grateful for the people waking up. Be grateful for the people that know the agenda and know all the things I'm talking about. And while the Antifa members and all those people and all those kids with the brainwashed leftist mentality, you know, the Weatherman Underground, Bill Ayers and all that, you know, they infiltrated the school system and higher education. They infiltrated a long time ago. This is a big, long plan. And it's all coming to fruition now. It's a very cool time to be alive. And you could be programmed and you could be played, or you can pick the 900 level vibration, the 1000 level vibration. It's available to you. It's optional, and you can have it. Just what brings me into the 900 vibrations fastest? What's my fastest doorway to freedom, empowerment, and gratitude? There's no racism there. There's no meat suit details there. Nobody cares. That's not, it's ridiculous. They think that they're pushing towards this more highly evolved state, and they're the ones taking us backwards because they're focusing on meat suit details, focusing on genitals and skin color. You're the ones taking us back. You're the ones. I'm not worried about it, because if I get to 1,000 and I get more people to 1,000, we're just going to be able to manifest the reality we want. But the thing that makes a little full court press here right now is AI, and our technology has surpassed our humanity. And these robots and all this crap, we're already. Obama, how many bombs did Obama drop with the drones? And then he won the Nobel Peace Prize? Clown world. Seriously, clown world. Nobel Peace Prize, using drones to drop bombs on all those people. It's just fucking clown world, man. You can't let it get to you, though. You just can't let it get to you. It's just, you got to be entertained by it, and then you wake up and you raise your vibration, and then you love all of those in the lower vibrations. You've got to love them. You can stay away from them. Love them from far, 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 far away. You know, but whoever you hate, your work is there. That's where your work is. And I bless all. I forgive all. I respect the free will choices of all, and I love all. I don't love all in a hug, but I love all. And I completely renounce the mainstream and everything it has. Love you. See ya. Peace.